Hi, everybody. Well, I'm going to first start this video off talking about something that's important, and then I've got a few other things that I want to go over while I'm shooting this video. But I first want to start this video with saying, if you're the kind of person that gets grossed out easily, I wouldn't watch the first little bit of this video because I want to talk about something that's rather gross in nature. And, well, to be completely honest, I don't want to have things said to me because, somebody's a special snowflake and gets offended easy and doesn't understand that you've been warned. That's the way I see it. I'm just warning you now, so this way, you are welcome to go ahead and watch this video, in its entirety, but just keep in mind that I'm going to be talking about something rather nasty at the beginning here. And it is what it is. Okay? Sorry, I was trying to pick something out of a ring here. But anyway, for starters, like I said, I'm about to talk about something gross, but it is what it is. And then I'm going to talk about a couple other things that've got a little bit to do with that. Well, for starters, I'm sure a lot of you, if you're friends with me on Facebook, have heard me talking about the fact that my husband, Tony, is in the hospital right now and has been since last Sunday, April the 16th. Today, as I shoot this video, it's April 23rd, 2023. Well, I just got home from seeing him. Okay, here's the part that's gross, okay, and it's to do with him. What has happened is Tony has, since like 2 weeks ago, at least, an infection. That's not, the infection's in a bad spot. It's on his right foot. It's right here where, like, the pad of his foot is, where his toes are attached to his foot. And it turned gangrenous. And a week ago today, on the April 16th, I took him up to the local hospital because I'll tell you what, the smell was getting bad. I mean, it was making him sicker and sicker and sicker. Well, what winds up happening is they took his shoe off at the ER. I came this close to puking and passing out. It was that bad. He developed gangrene in his foot. I am not even joking. I wish I could say I was joking, but I'm not. He's developed gangrene. And this is why I'm shooting this video. It's because a lot of people have been asking me what in the heck's going on. Instead of having to repeat myself 900 times, I'm just shooting this video and explaining it so this way you could figure it out on your own. Okay, what winds up happening, he's got gangrene. We're talking on April 16th. Man has gangrene on his foot. And it's real bad. In fact, his middle toe on his right foot has gone black. I mean, like this color black. I'm not even joking. I wish I was joking, but the gangrene turned it this black. I'm serious. And it was just the nastiest smelling thing, nastiest looking thing I've ever smelled or seen. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to pass out. I mean, it's like I almost threw up and passed out. It was just that bad. I mean, I can't imagine how he feels. I mean, it's just, he's sick, sick, sick. And as if, and to add insult to injury, they decided to operate on him last Sunday. I mean, it was an emergency surgery. I mean, like, they had to get this off, like, right then. I'm not joking. I mean, it's like, so, what happens is like, okay, they call in a podiatrist that they have on call there that's, associated with the hospital system. And they have emergency podiatry surgery on Tony's foot, his right foot, last Sunday on April 16th. And it was about this time of night. It's about 11:45 now. And, I mean, we were there. Like, I got him there at, like, 4:15 p.m.-ish, give or take. And we sat there and sat there and sat there and sat there. Because, they were trying to figure out what the heck. And then the physician's assistant comes and says, hey, when was the last time you ate? And this was, getting to be about, I'd say probably about 8:30, 9 o'clock-ish. And I'm like, he hasn't eaten since yesterday, the 15th. Because I was like, he was at work. When he was at work on Saturday was the last time he had eaten, on the 15th. And I said, and that was at like 6:30, 7 o'clock Saturday evening. He hasn't imbibed anything since then, maybe, outside of water. And he was like, okay, and I got to thinking, they're probably going to have surgery on him. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I gotta tell you, I mean, it's just, the smell off his foot, they kept the curtains closed, but I have to tell you, the smell was getting to me. And it's just, I am a tough person, but I gotta tell you, I came this close to yakking and just, collapsing from the smell, because it was getting the better of me. Like, I had to stay, like, they had, like, the curtains drawn across where Tony was laying on the bed with his, feet up, and his right foot was barefoot, and, like, they'd unwrapped it, and I was like, oh, and it's just, it took everything I had not to, blow chunks. I tell you, I didn't have anything in my stomach except for maybe coffee. I would have thrown up coffee. It was that bad. I mean, and it's just, I saw the bottom of his foot, especially right when he was in pre-op. I'm there with the doctor, and I'm like, I'm like, oh, God, and I'm like, it was really bad. And, like, they did some blood work on him right when they got him back to the, pre-op, and they said that from the blood work, it looked like he was having a heart attack at the same time. I'm like, oh, God, and it's like, could this not just get any worse? That's what I was thinking last Sunday. I'm thinking, oh, my God, could this get any worse? It did. Yeah, it did. It got a lot worse. They take him back. They operate on him. He loses his middle toe. Okay, great. And then while he's on the operating table, congratulations, his heart stops. His heart stops. I'm dead serious. I'm not joking. It's like, okay, great. No, he's not dead. Surprise, he's not dead. They had to do CPR on him. He's alive. He's very much alive, thank you. That's the good news, but he ends up losing a toe on Sunday, a week ago. So he's been short a toe. And I'll tell you what, they had to put, when they did the CPR and everything on him to take off his very black toe and everything, they had to put a tube down him. I saw him afterwards when they took him upstairs, and they had to put a PICC line in his neck after I left. And it's a good thing I wasn't there for that, because I would have fainted. I mean, it's just, this is why I'm not a nurse. Okay, just for the record, because I'm a coward. I'm an inherent coward, sorry. You know, but they had to put a PICC line in his neck, like, right back here. It's just a mess. Well, they put him up in the ICU, because he's a sick puppy. He's still very much alive. Well, you know, Monday, it's like, when I saw him Monday morning, this was probably about 12:30 in the morning at this point. He's up there in the ICU. Well, he's mad, you know, and he communicated to me that he's having problems breathing. And I'm like, honey, stop fighting the nurses for one thing. I'm like, you have that breathing tube in you for a reason, okay? I'm like, honey, stop fighting the nurses. They'll take that thing out of you soon enough. You have some issues. I go, but stop fighting, okay? I said, please stop fighting the nurses. I'm like, you're okay. You know, I'm like, just... At this point, my thought was, I'm going to oversimplify shit for him just because he doesn't know which way's up. You know, up, down, sideways, backwards, whatever. I'm just going to tell him what I call the BBB, bare bones basics. I'm like, honey, you have that breathing tube in your mouth for a reason, okay? Don't try to pull it out. Let them do that when they're ready. They feel that you're ready to have that out. I'm like, but... You know, I'm like, just right now I want you to work on getting well, is what I told him. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, I told him I loved him. And I said, we'll get this taken care of. And I just was like, I didn't tell him anything else. And I just said, you know, I've got to go home. They're kicking me out, you know, and which was the truth. Because visiting hours had ended at 8 p.m. But this was mitigating circumstances, where they needed me to sign papers. Like, I had paperwork to sign and stuff I needed to personally do and talk to the nurses about, because they needed me to fill in some of the gaps on his medical stuff. And they needed to talk to me about what happened and everything. So I left up out of there at like 1:45 Monday morning. Yeah, we're talking 12:45 a.m. my time. Okay, well, I go home, and I'm like, I couldn't sleep that good Monday morning. My mind was running around, and, you know, I just was thinking of like 500,000 things going on. I finally fell asleep around probably, I'd say, 6 o'clock in the morning, after I finally just, you know, mentally just calmed myself down enough to where I was like, you know, I'm like, okay, you know, it is what it is, you know, figure this out. Well, okay, Monday, when I go back and see him Monday evening, he looked markedly better, you know, from, you know, the day before. And he's still kind of, you know, loopy as all get out, and just couldn't decide, like, he's just like, yeah, you know, and I'm like, they'd pull, by the time I saw him Monday afternoon, they'd got the breathing tube out of him at like 9 o'clock Monday morning. You know, so he was talking, and he was complaining to me. He's like, I want my cell phone. I'm like, keep your pants on, Tony, you'll get it here in a second. You know, what have you. Well, finally, you know, he starts doing better. Okay, and he looks like each day passes, and he looks progressively better. Well, on Friday, this past Friday, the 20th, he has a second surgery on his foot. At this point, Tony loses another toe. It's like, okay, he's already lost this toe, his middle toe. The heck is this on my hand? I'm sorry, it's like I got ADD all of a sudden. He loses his middle toe, and then he loses his pointer toe. You know, it's like big toe, and then he loses the toe next to the big toe and the middle toe. He's still got his ring toe, and his little toe, and his big toe. So he's got 3 of 5. And after they gave him some time to get over it, yesterday, on Saturday, they moved him over to another hospital, to the cardiac intensive care unit there at the other hospital, because of everything going on with Tony's heart. Well, today they gave him a test at the other hospital where he is now. And let's just say there's blockage in his heart, and he is not doing so good. And the other thing they said was he's going to have open heart surgery. Okay? But here's the thing. Where he's got that crap going on with his foot and his leg, they've got to get the infection out of his foot and out of his leg before they can perform the open heart surgery. It's like, well, we know we've got, there's 2 surgeries right there. So I know we're going to have at least 1 surgery for his heart, 1 surgery for his foot, at least 1 more surgery on his foot, maybe a second one. But, there's definitely 2 surgeries in Tony's future, 1 on his heart, and at least 1, maybe 2 on his foot. So that's 3 surgeries right there that he's got hanging, waiting on him. This gets to some other, the thing that I need to talk about, other than, Okay, on Thursday, while I was sitting there with Tony, we had a conversation about this, and what it boils down to is I started a GoFundMe page for Tony's medical treatment, among other things. What I have done in the description of this video, I have put the link for the GoFundMe page in the caption, or in the description of this video, right after the warning about the nasty stuff that I just talked about. So, what it is if I would really appreciate if you all could donate anything, because we're talking about Tony's going to have at least 2 more surgeries. He's very, very sick. Okay, I'm not going to lie about it. He's very sick, and I would appreciate anything you can give. I mean, because we're going to need the money here really quick, for his surgeries, and then pay some of our bills, because he was the only one working out of the 2 of us, because I'm not able to work. I have my own litany of issues that I don't want to go into here, but it's an issue. But yeah, I included, like I just said, there's a link in the description of this video for the GoFundMe page. And if you could, please, please, please donate, okay? And help us out here, because, we're having problems paying bills, and we're having, Tony's got other surgeries that I know we're going to probably have to pay out of pocket for, and it would help out immensely. The other thing, I'm going to put another link in the description of this video as well. And that's for my book. And I have to say at this point, buy multiple copies of my book, because what will happen is the more you buy, the more that'll help me also pay for Tony's medical treatment and pay our bills and what have you. But as far as like his medical treatment and stuff, though, go to the GoFundMe page first and donate there. And then, after that, go buy copies of my book. Start a book club and, buy copies of my book, because that, will help out as well. But yeah, I hate to ask, I feel like I'm begging, but I also feel like I need to be upfront about everything and just tell what's going on and explain it. One other thing, and I want to mention this, speaking of Tony's surgeries and stuff, what it is, I would also appreciate it if some of you, came over and visited Tony, because I tell you what, there's only been like me and one of his friends outside of the nurses coming to see him. And, that would help out a lot too. If he, but if you have COVID or you're sick or you're under the age of 14, I'm sorry you can't come. Because they actually, and one other thing, visiting hours at the hospital end promptly at 8, and they will go around chucking people out of the rooms. If you're not the patient, they will chuck you out of the room at 8 p.m. and tell you to leave. I'm serious. They also lock the building down. I mean, like, completely down. I mean, the only way you're getting in is if you're dying, basically, or having a baby. So, anyway, I'll tell you where, if you live local to us, I'll tell you where he is and what room number he's in. But please make sure you get there way north of 8 p.m. Oh, and there is one, speaking of getting there north of 8 p.m., better yet, make sure you get there before 7 p.m., because that's when they actually start locking down the ICU that he's in at the second hospital. And because it's posted right there on the sign. But anyway, like I said just a little bit ago, in the description of this video is not only the warning that I gave at the beginning of this video, but links to the GoFundMe page and my book. So any way you can help out would be really awesome. And Tony and I would appreciate it. I mean, we don't normally ask for help, but in this instance, we have to. I mean, we don't want to, but we have to because, situation is what it is. And I want to thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you all later. Have a great evening. Bye.